students, welcome back. Today we are going to explore the new chapter of Science Class 3rd. That is chapter number 13 about the Earth and Moon. Okay, so students, Earth, the home planet, where we all survive, we live, and Moon, the only natural satellite of the Earth. So now in this session today, we are going to explore these two heavenly bodies of our solar system. Okay, let's start it. See, so the learning objectives means the topics which we are going to cover in this session today. That is life on the earth, shape of the earth, the different movements of the earth. Then we are going to explore about Moon, the satellite of the earth, and the different phases of the Moon, which we commonly see during the different days. Okay? Now, so first of all, you have to tick the activity you do in day and cross that you do at night. Okay? So the activities which we do in a day, we have to tick them, and the activities which we do at night, we have to cross them. Okay? So in this first activity, you can see that this boy is sleeping. And when we sleep at night. So what we are going to do it? We are going to cross it. Then here the boy is going to school. And when we go to school in a daytime. So we are going to tick it correct. Okay, then here this boy is play in the outdoor. Okay, so when we play outdoor games, we play the outdoor games at the daytime. So again, we are going to tick it correct. Here, this child is having what? Is having dinner. Okay, and dinner we usually take in the night time. So we are going to tick it again wrong. Okay? Now, so Earth is the third planet from the Sun. The life exists only on Earth. Okay, so there are how many? Total 8 planets in our solar system which revolves around the Sun. And among all those 8 planets, the Earth is the third planet from the Sun. And it is the only planet where life exists. Okay? Why? Because there is presence of land, water, air, and moderate temperature. These are some of the factors which has made our Earth a living place. Okay? So now our Earth consists of two-thirds of water. So majorly 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and remaining 1/3 or the 30% area is covered with land. And these two things, these two surfaces, that is land and water, they are necessary for the survival of flora and fauna. Flora means plants and fauna means animals. Okay? So first of all, we have the topic of life on Earth. So students, scientists believe, long ago, the scientists used to believe that the Earth was formed many years ago from clouds of dust and gases. How was the Earth formed? From the clouds of dust and gases. Okay, and they also believe that the Earth's temperature was very hot when it was newly formed in the universe. Okay, there were no plants nor animals on it. Okay, but later on there were rains and thunderstorms which occurred on the earth, and due to these rains and thunderstorm, the Earth's surface got cooled down. Okay, and then after that the living forms started appearing on the Earth, and this is how the life started on this planet. Okay, natural selection and survival of the fittest has been the basis of survival on the Earth. Okay, now then we have shape of the Earth. So in the ancient time period, the people used to think that the earth was flat. Okay, in the ancient time period, we had a belief that earth was a flat shaped planet like our book. Okay, but after some days, after many research and discoveries, the overall conclusion was that our earth is actually spherical in shape. It is round in shape like this. Okay, so this means that the earth looks like a huge ball. Now, how do we know? How were we able to conclude it that the earth is round in shape? So, if we stand at a seashore, okay, if we stand at the shore of a sea, and then from that point, if we watch a ship sailing away from us, so what you will see that first of all, the lower part of the ship disappears, and after that, the top part of the ship disappears. It shows that the earth is round in shape. The earth seems flat to us. Okay, it seems like that the earth is flat to us. Why? Because we can see only a little part of it. We cannot see the whole of the earth at a time. Okay, but people who have traveled into space and they have seen our earth from the space, what they have seen that it looks round from there. Okay, the people who travel into space, very important, the people who travel into space, what they are called? They are called astronauts. Okay, and the astronauts who went to the moon, our natural satellite, they have observed our earth from the surface of moon also, and they have found that the shape of the earth looks round only from the moon surface also. And overall, we conclude that the earth is round in shape. Okay? Now, next we have movements of the earth. So, students, the earth moves all the time. Okay, but we standing on it cannot feel it. Why? Because it moves very, very, very slowly and also very smoothly. Okay, we are standing on Earth's surface, still we cannot feel its movement because of the very slow and smooth movement. Okay, so our Earth majorly shows two kinds of movement, that is rotation and the other is revolution. These are the two types of movement shown by our Earth. Okay, see, there is an amazing fact which they have given you. As I told you, how many? Total 8 planets are there in our solar system, and among all those 8 planets, Mercury is the smallest planet and Jupiter is the largest planet of our solar system. Okay? Now, let's continue with the movements of the Earth. So, first of all, we were having the rotation. So, students, if we spin a top, it moves round and round, staying at the same place. So, the top is said to spin about a line passing through its center. What they say? If you spin a top, okay, so it's spin round and round by staying at the same place. At that same place, that particular point around which the top spins, that we considered as an imaginary line. Okay, we consider that particular point around which the top spins, that we considered as a line which is passing through its center. We cannot see this line. Why? Because we consider it as an imaginary line. Okay, so similarly, like this only, our Earth also spins about an imaginary line. Okay, our Earth also spins around a line, an imaginary line, which passes through its center only. And this imaginary line of the Earth around which it's move, that is called axis of the Earth. And the movement of the Earth on its axis is called rotation. This movement of the Earth on its own axis from west to east direction is known as rotation of the Earth. See, they have given a question which is known as the blue planet. So, Earth is known as the blue planet. Why? Because it looks bluish from the space. Now, next is what causes day and night. We must have observed the changes during a daytime. The morning, the noon time, we see it is the daytime and then it occurs the night time. So, how are these changes of day and night are caused? See, we see that the sun always shines in the sky. And what does it give us? It gives us heat and light, right? So as the earth rotates, the part which faces the sun has day. See, so as we know, the earth, what does it do? It rotates. Okay, so when it rotates, so the part of it which faces the sun has what? The daytime. And at the same time, the other side of the earth which does not get light from the sun experiences nighttime. Our earth is constantly moving on its axis. It is constantly rotating on its axis. And this rotation of the earth on its own axis only causes day and night. Okay? Total 24-hour time period is taken by the earth to complete its one rotation around the axis. Okay? And this 24-hour time period makes one day on the earth. Now, next type of movement shown by the earth is revolution. So, we have discussed that earth moves around its axis. Beside that, the earth also moves around the sun also in a fixed path. That fixed path is known as Earth's orbit. And this movement of the earth around the sun in its orbit, remaining in its orbit, that is called revolution. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path is called revolution. Total 365 and 1/4 days time period is taken by the earth to complete one revolution around the sun. And therefore, this 365 days time periods make 1 year. Okay? So, due to rotation of the earth, there were changes in day and night. But due to revolution of the earth, it causes changes in seasons. Okay? Now, what causes season? So, the earth while rotating on its axis also revolves around the sun in its fixed orbit. This we have discussed right now only, that the earth shows two types of movement. First of all, it moves on its own axis, that is called rotation. And it also moves around the sun in its fixed path, that is called revolution. Okay, so all of the world does not receive heat and light from the sun at the same time and of the same amount because of its spherical shape. Okay, so all the world part does not receive the heat and light radiated by the sun, okay, at the same time and also of the same amount. Why? Because of the spherical shape of the earth. The revolution of the earth, due to revolution of the earth, and also due to slightly tilted of the earth axis. We have discussed about the earth axis. So, this imaginary line which passes from the center of the earth was known as axis. This is slightly tilted. And due to its tiltedness only, these two factors causes changes of season on the earth. Which two factors? First of all, revolution of the earth, and secondly, tilt in the earth axis. These two factors are responsible for the change of seasons on the earth. Okay? Our country, if we talk about our country, that is India, it has three main seasons, that is summer, winter and monsoon. Okay? See, Aryabhat was the first person to say that the earth is round and not flat. What are they saying? That Aryabhat was the first person to say that the earth is round and not flat. So that was all about the earth. And now, next we come to what? Moon. So what is moon? Moon is the only natural satellite of the earth. See, natural satellites are heavenly bodies which revolve around a planet. First of all, what are satellites? The satellite is any body which revolves around the planet. And natural satellites are the heavenly bodies which exist on their own in our nature, and they also revolve around a planet only. Okay, see, some planets have moon, but our Earth has only one moon. So moon takes about 28 days. How much time period? It takes about 28 days to orbit around the Earth. Moon is our nearest neighbor in space. Okay, the Earth's nearest neighbor in space is Moon only. It is much smaller as compared to the size of the Sun. Okay, our moon is a big ball. You can see the picture of the moon. It is like a big ball which is formed by rocks. On the surface of moon, it has rocky mountains and the sand-covered plains also. Along with that, there is no water, no air on the moon. Okay, and therefore there is no possibility of life on the moon. The moon looks big in the sky. Okay, I hope you must have seen the moon in the night sky. It looks very big. Why? Because it is closer to us as compared to the sun also. Sun is also the closest star, but comparatively the moon is much closer to the earth. Okay, and many spacecraft have been sent to the moon also to research, for the purpose of research and new discoveries. Okay? Now next we have what? Phases of the moon. So the shine of moon is due to the reflection of light from the sun. So students, you must all know about this, that the moon shines, but it does not have light of its own. It appears shining because of the reflected light rays of the sun. Okay? As it goes round the earth, as we know, moon goes round the earth, so various parts of it are illuminated by the sun. We can only see that part which gets light. The earth's only, the moon's only that part is visible to us which is lit by the light of the sun. It seems to us that the moon changes its shape daily. If you have observed the moon on a daily basis, so you must have seen that it looks like that the moon is changing its shape every night. And these changing shapes of the moon are known as phases of the moon. Okay, sometimes, some days the moon is not visible to us. Okay, there are some days when the moon is totally disappears. It is not visible to us at all. And slowly, day by day, what we can see? We can see the small portions of the moon appearing in the sky. And these small portions are known as crescent moons. Right? Then after 7 days, we can see half of the moon, which is called half moon. Like this, you can see this is half moon, and this is the small portion of the moon, which is called crescent moon. And then almost after 2 weeks, we can see the full face of the moon, that is called full moon, like this. Okay? So these are the different phases of the moon which we commonly observe during the night sky. So that's all for the chapter. We have discussed many factors or many terms regarding the two heavenly bodies of our space, that is Earth and the moon. That's all for the chapter. I hope you must have understood them very carefully. You must have explored the two heavenly bodies very accurately. Okay, so let's meet in the next session with a new chapter. Till then, keep going well, and thanks to everyone.